What's up, Colts Nation? So today we're talking about the Colts 2017 draft class.
Throw one way downfield to T.Y. He got it. He's going to score. Ball's loose. Luck picks it up. And Luck scores. Andrew picked up the fumble. Throws one over the net. Intercepted. Marlon Jackson. Marlon got it. We're going to the Super Bowl.
Alright, so I'm going to go through every draft pick saying 3 things I love about each guy. And I'm going to share a couple of their weaknesses. And at the end of it all, I'm going to give each guy a grade based on how good the draft pick was. Alright, so first off, we have safety out of Ohio State, Malik Hooker. Hands off to Ballard for making this pick. He is an absolute steal. He was projected to go top 10, and we got him at 15. That's a tremendous value pick. So the first thing I absolutely love about this guy is his ability to play in space and his amazing range. Alright, so as you can see here, Malik Hooker starts on the left side of the hash. Now, look where he ends up. In the span of 7.5 seconds, he's able to cover at least half the field. That's absolutely amazing. His ability to play in that amount of space takes away so many options for the quarterback. They know they can't hit the middle of the field because Hooker is there. Teams that were playing against Ohio State had to dictate towards him. They couldn't throw down the middle at all. If he's able to transition that into the NFL, teams are going to have to game plan just for him. He's an immediate game changer. The second thing Malik Hooker really has that I absolutely love is his ball skills. He has gigantic hands and a great vertical that makes those already small windows even smaller for quarterbacks. As you can see here, it looks like it's going to be an easy catch for the wideout. But Malik Hooker's ball skills allow him to get up there and pick off that ball. Ballard talked about wanting to have defensive players that could play with the ball. We want to create turnovers to give the ball back to Andrew Luck. And the third thing I love about Malik Hooker is his ability to take the ball back to the house. As you can see on this play, he takes the ball and he immediately becomes a threat. He makes cuts and reads his blocks just like a running back. I love the idea of scoring points while keeping Luck off the field. Alright, so a couple of weaknesses I've heard Hooker have is his ability to make tackles and have good angles towards them. He isn't afraid to tackle, it's just sometimes he takes really poor angles. I think if he learns from NFL coaches, he's going to be able to correct that really easily. As you can see here, it doesn't look like too much of a problem. But that's something to look out for. We really need him to make tackles back there because he's the last line of defense. Alright, so overall, Malik Hooker is a really well-rounded player. We got him at tremendous value. So I'm going to go ahead and give this pick an A+. I absolutely loved it. Alright, so next off, we have cornerback out of Florida, Quincy Wilson. I also really like this pick. He's a big physical corner, can play man, which we are in most of the time. I think he's going to be a great fit right next to Vontae Davis. They're going to be really scary to throw against. The first thing I really like about him is his ability to close the space between him and the receiver. As you can see here, once he sees where the ball is going, he immediately attacks and breaks up the pass. The second thing I really like about him is his ability to play man coverage and turn his head around and swat that ball out of there. Most corners you see nowadays aren't turning their heads and in turn get a bunch of pass interference calls. He's able to turn his head most of the time and either pick that ball off or swat it away. The third thing I really like about this guy is his ability to play in press coverage. He's really physical, reroutes guys, and he's very disruptive between the quarterback and the wide receiver's timing. And as a bonus, he is a pretty good tackler, and most of all, he has a lot of swagger. He's a very confident guy, believes he's starting from day one, believes he can cover anyone in the league. I'd love to have that on our defense. So for this draft pick, I'm giving Quincy Wilson an A. Would be an A+, it's just he's a little slow, but overall he's a great player at great value in a position we really needed. So another great pick by Ballard. He's nailing it in the first couple of rounds. Alright, so next we have outside linebacker out of Ohio, Tarell Basham. Not only is his name really nice, he's a really good player as well. The first thing I absolutely love about this guy is his effort. As you can see on this play, he immediately gets knocked down by a lineman. But right after he gets knocked down, he immediately gets back up and gets the strip sack. That's amazing in my opinion. Another example of his effort is on this play. He starts on the left hash, but right after he sheds it and immediately starts chasing full speed at that quarterback. The second thing I love about this guy is his ability to hit people. As you can see on this play, he absolutely demolishes this punter, sends him flying. It's absolutely beautiful to watch. And the third thing I love about this guy is his ability to create separation with his hands. He has really good hand technique. As you can see on this play, he creates that separation immediately as he engages. With his right hand, he fends him off, gets around the edge, and helps out with the sack. And of course, you have to love his swagger. Plays the game very confidently, which is what we need. But with that, I'm going to give the Tarell Basham draft pick an A-. The only thing he really lacks is a little conditioning because he got tired at the end, but that should be a problem with us. And speed. He doesn't have too much speed, but his technique and his effort are going to make up for all that. And as a bonus, he's learning off Robert Mathis, one of the best pass rushers in our franchise. So he's going to be a guy to look out for because he can be a monster when he's out there. So next, Chris Ballard in the 4th round drafted tackle Zach Banner. Alright, so the first thing when you see this guy is his amazing size. He's 6'8", one of the tallest tackles in the league. His size has made it so hard for pass rushers to get around him just because he had that amazing width. And he isn't the slowest guy either, so it was really hard for outside linebackers and defensive ends to get around him. Who knows if LaRaven Clark is the answer, who knows if Zach Banner is the answer. But they're both really good options. As you can see on this play, he doesn't get that initial block, but he hits that crucial block to get the receiver in space. Some of this guy's weaknesses is his technique. He doesn't have it all down yet. He could really improve on it. He's still very raw, but he has that natural size and strength. Another thing people wondered about him was his effort, but I don't think that should be a problem now that he's in the NFL. So I'm going to give this draft pick by Chris Ballard a solid B. He could eventually become into a really good right tackle for us, but it's going to take time. But when he does, look for him to step up, and he's going to be very noticeable once you see him out there. So next we have one of my favorite picks of this draft class, running back Marlon Mack. So the first thing I absolutely love about him is his jump cuts and his jukes. He is fluid when it comes to that stuff. He's very evasive. It's hard to put a hit on him. As you can see on this play, gets the ball, breaks down a little, and then make that cut right there. And he's off to the races. Next play. He sets up this guy like he's going outside, and once he sees that space, he cuts immediately, giving the outside linebacker no chance to make that play. His evasiveness is eye-opening. He can set guys up and create space for himself just by setting them up inside and going out, setting them up outside and going in. It's just very fun to watch him play. The second thing I love about his guy is his ability to finish plays off. As you can see right there, when he finds that hole, he explodes through it and finishes the play with a touchdown. He's a home run hitter. Once he finds that space, he's gone. Frank Gore really doesn't have that ability to finish plays off like Marlon Mack does. Once he gets that gap, people are going to chase Frank Gore from behind. I don't think that can be the case with Marlon Mack because he has really great speed. A couple weaknesses he has though sometimes is his lack of vision. Sometimes he has a gap inside but he decides to jump out. And sometimes he tries to make too many moves that he ends up too far in the backfield getting negative yards, which he absolutely needs to cut out of his game to make it in the NFL because we cannot afford to get negative yards. Another thing that's negative about him is his ball security. As you can see on this play, he makes an absolute awesome stiff arm. Nice run. It's just the way he carries that ball in one hand is very dangerous. It takes one arm just to take that ball out. He just can't do that in the NFL. People know how to take the ball away from you like that. So that's one thing I bet Frank Gore is working on with him. He shouldn't have a problem after he realizes that he can't afford to hold the ball like that. So with that, I'm going to give Marlon Mack a B+. It's just, I'm really afraid of that ball security. although I think Frank Gore can fix that. But he was really great value. We got him in the 4th round. He was expected to go 3 to 4, so that's really good for us. I really like comparing him to a cheaper Dalvin Cook. They have the same type of run style. They ran about the same 40. They're about the same size. So they're really similar players. We just got him for a lot cheaper. So next, Chris Ballard in the 4th round drafted defensive tackle Grover Stewart. First thing you see about this guy is his great size. I like comparing him to Dontari Poe. They have about the same weight, same height. So we didn't get Dontari Poe this offseason, but we might have got him through the draft in Grover Stewart. The second thing I really like about this guy is his ability to push that pocket. He pushes guards and centers into the backfield, and that disrupts the pocket for quarterbacks, making it harder for them to step up and pass the ball, which is absolutely necessary, and we really need it. I think he's going to become our number 2 defensive tackle. He's very raw because he played in D2, but I think Jonathan Hankins, Al Woods, and maybe David Perry can really teach him and strengthen his skills. I'm going to give this guy a B-. We drafted him a little bit early in the 4th round, but it was still a very good pick. He's just very raw, and I don't think he's going to make immediate impact. But for the future, he's a very crucial piece. So next we have cornerback out of Temple, Nate Hairston. I think Nate has the ability to play in the slot. Could be a replacement for Darius Butler because he's moving to safety. He could be very crucial in the slot because he's quick, he's physical. That's what a slot corner needs to be. First thing I really like about him is his ability to come up and make plays in the backfield on screens and on toss plays. As you can see on this play, once he sees the ball, he immediately goes downhill and makes the tackle. On this one too, he doesn't let that screen go by him. The second thing I really like about him is the ability to make chase down plays. As you can see, he chases down this speedy receiver from the back, saving a touchdown. Just looking at him kind of reminds me of TJ Green. TJ Green was also a receiver turned into a safety. So he's gonna take some work to really purify his skills. But the third thing I like about his guy is the ability to play in the red zone. I would have liked for him to turn his head on this play, but he still makes a play. And right here, he swats the ball away perfectly. He plays really well in the red zone. But I'm gonna give this draft pick a C+, just because he's a very raw player. He just turned into a cornerback. He used to play wide receiver, but he's a risky pick. He doesn't have a great trait. He doesn't have great size. He's just very speedy and reacts to the ball well, but I don't know how he's going to do. Last but not least, the Colts in the 5th round selected inside linebacker out of Northwestern, Anthony Walker Jr. I really like this guy, and I really like his potential. He's not going to be an immediate starter or an immediate impact, but he could develop into a very good inside linebacker. His pass coverage skills are really, really good. So that gives him the ability to go out there on passing downs perhaps this year. He eliminates hooks run by tight ends, running backs, and sometimes even receivers. He reads the quarterback really well, and once he sees where the play is going, he immediately attacks. The second thing I love about this guy is his IQ. He's a very smart player. As you can see on this play, he reads that read option very well, attacks the quarterback perfectly, and makes the tackle in the backfield. And third, what I really like about him is his physicality. He's not afraid to go down and beat up running backs. Just some of his weaknesses are he's not the most athletic guy. Some people say he got built too fast, so he doesn't look very athletic when he runs. Perhaps running backs are going to be able to go outside of him, but he's a very good pick still in my mind. And with that pick, I'm going to give Chris Ballard a B just because he isn't the most athletic guy, but he's very smart and can read out quarterbacks. Alright, so comment below what you thought about my draft grades. I really, really enjoyed this class. Chris Ballard and his scouts did an amazing job for us. We got very crucial pieces for our defense and perhaps our running back for our future. So yeah, this offseason was great for us. Thanks for watching the video, and keep bleeding blue, Colts Nation.
avoid any confrontation with the enemy, he'll forget his evil ways and learn to love us. All who oppose